However, I did see Terrence Crawford with a big smile ringside as you were beating up on Teofimo. You know, you have the likes of Andre Ward, Clarissa Shields, Terrence, obviously, and Mayweather backing you up. Do you feel like, you know, at this time, it was almost like a collective win for not just you, but your team as well, after all the, you know, shit-talking that Teofimo did? Not just you, but everybody in your team.
Yeah, I got the last laugh tonight. Like I said, I appreciate Floyd, Clarissa, Bud, Andre Ward. I'm glad to have these relationships in boxing. I'm glad to be able to call them and pick their brains and get better at my own craft. So shout out to them. Shout out to my guy, Eddie Hearn. He been supporting me from the jump. He's a real promoter, and he's probably one of the best promoters in boxing. So like I said,
the celebration was still flowing when the politics kicked in. Hours after Shakur Stevenson delivered a boxing masterclass, dismantling Teofimo Lopez to claim the WBO super lightweight crown, the World Boxing Council made their move. But they didn't come bearing congratulations or talk of unification. They came with a notification. Shakur Stevenson, one of boxing's elite pound-for-pound fighters, had been stripped of his lightweight world title. On the surface, just bureaucratic housekeeping. But according to Shakur, this had nothing to do with paperwork and everything to do with money.
Hey y'all, what's up, box fans? They didn't strip Shakur Stevenson. The WBC, boy, they ain't playing. They low down, boy. They didn't strip Shakur Stevenson of the 135-pound WBC title, y'all. Said due to, you know, the fact of, you know, homicide Hank Henry Armstrong, you know, after he held belts at, I think, featherweight, 147 and middleweight, they made it a rule that a champion can't hold a belt simultaneously. Now, I was gonna say something about I ain't saying that just to say it, but I didn't know if they could do that with a single belt or if it was just if they were undisputed. But apparently, you know, the WBC, you know, being low down, being petty, you know, want to follow the rules and say, you know, you can't simultaneously hold two belts or however many belts in different divisions.
Stevenson wasn't about to take it quietly. He hit social media hard, dropping a bombshell that ripped open boxing's dirty secrets. He called them crooks, plain and simple, and revealed what he claimed was the real story. The WBC, he said, wanted $100,000 from his purse for the Lopez fight. A fight where their belt wasn't even on the line. When Shakur refused to pay, they allegedly took his belt in retaliation. It raises a question that won't go away. Are these organizations regulating boxing, or just holding it hostage? Now, let's look at what the WBC claims versus what actually happened. They released a carefully crafted statement saying everything was by the book. Their logic? Simple. Shakur now holds a title at 140 pounds. Their rules say you can't hold belts in two weight classes at once without permission. So they declared the 135-pound title vacant. Sounds reasonable, right? Gives them a nice, clean excuse to remove a star fighter from their roster. But the timing tells a different story. They didn't wait for Shakur to choose which division he wanted. No grace period. They moved with a speed you rarely see in boxing, unless money is involved.
The light of champion Stevenson now being the reigning WBO super lightweight world champion and consistent with the WBC rules and regulation. The WBC has declared vacant its lightweight world title. The WBC wishes champion Stevenson continued success in all his future endeavors, both inside and outside the ring. Now, here's the thing for me. Yes, I'm sure that it is in the ring. I mean, it is in the rules that that you cannot hold a championship between the WBC and another sanctioning body in two different weight classes. You can't do it. Also, you really can't hold belts in two different weight classes at the same time. That said, I still think that the WBC's move and not allowing Shakur Stevenson to make the decision as to what he's going to do is a little bit of a spit in the face, and it is not the first spit in the face that camp has had from the WBC recently. Because if you recall, Terrence Bud Crawford was the WBC champion after he beat Canelo Alvarez for the WBC belt, and they got into a scrum about the sanctioning fees. And right there, they said, "Nope, if you say you're not paying these fees, we're taking your belt." And they stripped Terrence Crawford for not paying the fee.
And money is, according to Shakur, is exactly what this is about. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a shakedown gone wrong. Shakur claims the organization tried to strong-arm him into paying a sanctioning fee for a fight that had nothing to do with him. He was fighting for a WBO belt against a WBO champion. The WBC's green strap was sitting at home collecting dust. Yet somehow, Stevenson says, they still felt entitled to a six-figure cut of his earnings. His response was swift and personal. He went public, 100,000 to some crooks who don't deserve it?
No.
Leilani, I'd rather give it to you, baby girl. By bringing his daughter into it, Shakur made his position crystal clear. He'd rather secure his family's future than pay what he saw as protection money to an organization that contributed absolutely nothing to the fight.
Right here, this is the WBC championship. They could have given people an opportunity to hold that belt. For example, they could have had an opportunity for him to hold that belt and given him an opportunity to say what he was going to do, as far as staying at 140 or 135. That said, Shakur Stevenson has been saying that he wanted to move back down to 135 after he won the 140-pound title. He said he was planning on staying, made public statements that he was going to be staying at the weight class, but it is what it is now that he's been stripped. So, the options just got a lot more thin from Shakur. So he's going to have to hold on to that WBO belt at 140 pounds and start doing work with guys in the 140 pound division.
But there is a darker layer here. Something beyond a simple billing dispute. Shakur believes he's caught in the crossfire of a much bigger war. He put it bluntly, the WBC is eating themselves alive because of their beef with Bud. He's talking about Terrence Crawford, Shakur's mentor, training partner, and close friend. The relationship between Crawford and the WBC has been poisonous for years. Crawford was famously stripped of his welterweight title before his mega fight with Errol Spence Jr., a move Crawford also blamed on refusing to pay massive sanctioning fees. The WBC has a documented history with fighters who won't play ball. And Shakur believes he inherited this grudge the moment he aligned himself with Crawford. Sanctioning bodies can be petty, that's no secret. When a fighter openly criticizes them or refuses to pay the fees that fund their operations, that fighter often finds themselves mysteriously sliding down rankings or losing belts entirely. Shakur's outburst, because y'all got beef with Bud, so come at me for it, suggests the organization is sending a message to the entire Crawford camp. Pay up, or you don't get to call yourself a WBC champion. Doesn't matter how good you are inside that ring.
I see Mauricio, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize. Like, who the f*** you think I am? Boy, you better slap your self and paying your ass you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the green belt, which don't mean real belt is the ring belt, which is free. are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agreed to the same amount, but you sit your ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? You can take the belt.
This brings us to a critical truth about modern boxing. Shakur's defiant response, "Take your belt, it don't make me," is a powerful statement in an era where the value of these titles is being questioned like never before. Think about it. Shakur Stevenson just went 12 rounds with Teofimo Lopez, a fighter who's beaten legends, and made it look effortless. He won virtually every single round on the scorecards. That performance cemented his status as a generational talent. Does he really need a green leather strap to prove he's the best lightweight on the planet? The belt is supposed to mean you're the champion. But when the organization strips the actual best fighter in the division over a fee dispute, the belt loses its meaning. It becomes nothing more than a receipt, proof of payment rather than proof of excellence.
He did not comply with the rules, and he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
The irony here is almost painful. The WBC claims to protect boxing's integrity, yet their actions often feel like they're actively sabotaging the sport's biggest stars. By stripping Shakur, they've created a vacuum at lightweight. Now 2 lesser fighters will likely compete for the vacant title, and whoever wins will parade around as world champion. But everyone in boxing will know the truth. The real champion didn't lose his belt in the ring. He lost it because he wouldn't write a check. It devalues the title and confuses casual fans who just want to see the best fight the best.
Shakur Stevenson made it abundantly clear that he's a 135-pounder. He's going up in weight just for situational fights. He just defeated 2-division world champion, former unified lightweight, and now former WBO junior welterweight superstar, Teofimo Lopez, in dominating fashion. He's now 22 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 13 wins by way of knockout. After a beautiful performance, a dominating performance, the WBC, in a rush to do nothing, can't give this dude a week to make a decision on what he wants to do next. This dude, Shakur, has told the world, I'm 135 pounds. I plan on competing at 135 unless there's a situation that presents itself. You got Lamont Roach, who you elevated to the number 2 fighter in the WBC at 135. Right? Shakur says yesterday, I'm willing to fight Lamont Roach. We're going to make it happen. Right? Not once did Shakur say that he's staying at 140 pounds.
This situation sets a dangerous precedent. If a star as big as Shakur Stevenson can be stripped for refusing to pay a fee on a non-title fight, no one is safe. It signals that sanctioning bodies are desperate to maintain their revenue streams, even if it means alienating the very athletes who generate the money. We're witnessing a shift. Fighters are realizing their personal brand and performance matter more than the alphabet soup of titles. Shakur is a 4-division world champion. His legacy is already being written in gold. Losing this specific belt might sting his ego momentarily, but it does nothing to diminish his skill or his marketability.
F him. The Ring Magazine belt was free. This is why people like Max Kellerman can't stand these sanction bodies. This is why Max Kellerman doesn't even acknowledge these sanction bodies. This is why Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh don't want to acknowledge it. They stripped Dmitry Bivol 48 hours after he first became a world champion and held their belt. He didn't even hold the WBC belt for 72 hours. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So you got paid from Sabril Matias, Dalton Smith, Isaac Cruz, Shakur Stevenson for defending his title against Williams Zepeda. And now you want Shakur to pay you again? For a fight you have absolutely nothing to do with. This is the WBO, World Boxing Organization. Has nothing to do with the IBF, WBA, or WBC. And the WBC greedy self wanted Shakur Stevenson to pay $100,000 to them for what? Their belt wasn't in the ring? Disgusting. I can't wait to Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, Dana White, TKO. So everybody complaining about, the Muhammad Ali Act and Dana White coming in. Look at the nasty work that, man, I'm done, man. I gotta go. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
So where does Shakur go from here? He's effectively at war with one of boxing's most powerful organizations. Chasing another WBC title seems completely off the table for the foreseeable future. He burned that bridge to ashes with his crooks comment. But in doing so, he's also freed himself. He's no longer bound to their mandatory challengers or their fees. He can chase the biggest money fights, the legacy bouts, the matchups fans actually want to see, without worrying about satisfying a board of directors in Mexico City.
It's going to sound diabolical, but here it is. If Shakur Stevenson can stay healthy, nobody can beat him. I've seen it before. See, I came up looking at Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather. It didn't matter who Floyd Mayweather fought. It didn't matter who Roy Jones fought. You just had a sense that they couldn't beat him. I never thought Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd. Floyd is just, he was just too damn good. And after that Teofimo Lopez fight, I said, I've seen this before. Nobody's going to beat him. And what makes it even crazier is that what he has around him makes it a certainty. Clarissa Shields, Ward, Roy Jones Jr., Terrence Crawford, Floyd Mayweather, creme de la creme. You have that around you. You're not allowed to get off track. It's raps, bro.
In the end, this controversy might actually help Shakur Stevenson. It keeps his name in the headlines. It rallies fans who are tired of boxing corruption. And it positions him as a rebel fighting the establishment. The WBC may have taken the belt, but they couldn't take the narrative. Shakur controlled the ring against Lopez. And now, by exposing the financial demands behind the scenes, he's controlling the conversation outside of it too. The belt is vacant. But the throne isn't empty. The king just decided he wasn't paying for the crown anymore. But we want to hear from you. What do you think about this shocking situation with the WBC and Shakur Stevenson? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss what's coming next. Share your opinion in the comments. We read them all. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.